Hey folks, Gary here. I don't think there's ever been a time in history. Matter of fact, I know there's never been a time in history where we have so many options, right? So many opportunities to spend our time, spend our day on things. And yet we're probably the most bored generation as well. Actually, that's probably not true because I think that's happened throughout entire history where people get bored. Why are they bored? Well, I think a lot of times it's because you spend your time on things that don't give you life. And we've been looking at Romans chapter 12. Verse 1 talked about making yourself a living sacrifice to God. In other words, devoting everything you are to God. And verse 2 actually deals with how we spend our time. And as a matter of fact, if we get verse 2 down, you're never going to be bored probably again. So let's just read it here. So verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world. So, very beginning, do not be conformed to this world. The world has a lot of ideas about how you should spend your time. Um, like lots of them. Why? Because the world generally makes money off of you spending your time on their things. So that's part of it. So don't let the world tell you what's going to give you life. The world doesn't know what's going to give you life. The world knows what's going to give it life, but doesn't know what's going to give you life. So don't be conformed to this world. Instead, right? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. In other words, we ask God not to take our minds away, so we're not zombies walking around, not that kind of thing, but that He would show us what brings us life, what is good, what is pure. Be transformed in our minds so we can actually change those thought patterns and start thinking and focusing on things that are really, really good, that will bring us life. And then it says, by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So by testing, you will know what is the will of God and what's really, really good, what's perfect, what's going to bring you life. Now, what's being tested? Well, we're tested, so we know if this is actually working right or not, because you can't tell from the inside, but we ask God to test it. Am I focused on the wrong things? Understand that you probably are, and that God will direct you to the right stuff. So testing that, but also testing what you're spending your time on. Right now, you're spending time watching this on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or whatever medium this is on right now. You're spending your time watching that. Is that giving me life, or is it just time? Focus on the things that give you life. And that's probably going to be the will of God for your life. Focus on that stuff. And man, you're not going to be bored again because you're going to be in the will of God, doing the things He's called you to do that are perfect and pleasing and awesome.